Okay, this is Love and Sparkles. This is Cindy. I am now going to put the glitter on my mug or my tumbler. Hopefully this works okay. Um, so this is Cindy. This is what I'm going to do. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works, guys. I'm going to do one color at a time. I'm going to do it over this paper so I don't lose glitter. Stay in there. Stay in there. I'll put green and silver together. So I will do the green first. And I just took Eileen's Tack It. And I'm just going to paint it on here because I want it to stay sticky enough, long enough so I can spread it. And I can get it on there. Because when I tried spraying it with the clear spray paint, it didn't stay very sticky very long. And then, of course, you're spray painting it like non-stop. So that didn't work. And I don't have Mod Podge, so this is the closest thing to Mod Podge that I have. And you just want to get it on there in a thin coat so you can spray the glitter on it. Or sprinkle it on there over a piece of paper. So, of course, you can keep your glitter. Because I'm going to put the glitter back in a container, of course. So I can keep it. And use it for other projects. And then yesterday, I was like, I wasn't sure, and I think I mixed it incorrectly because it just never really set up. And so it just really never stayed up. It stayed tacky, and I looked, and it said, I went over it with some alcohol, and it just kind of took it off. And so I think the Roomba just told me it wants to be emptied again. It's just going to have to wait. And so, I just went ahead and made another thin coat of let me put it this way so I catch it all. A thin coat, a very thin coat, and that way maybe it'll go ahead and harden by tomorrow. And I made sure that it was like, I had the A in the correct. And then I read that make sure you scrape the bottom, scrape the sides. I mean, I watched a YouTube as I was doing it to make sure that I did it totally correct. I mean, it was like, read that puppy non-stop to make sure I had it, you know, totally. Oh, I got glitter in my glue now. Glitter in my glue. I'm going to be glittered up in my kitchen. Glitter up here. But you want to just have a thin coat so that it doesn't stick up, cause you problems when you're doing your thing. So you just want a really thin coat so that it lays flat. And some of this glitter has big chunks and little chunks in it. And the silver is really, really thin. Or, you know, fine. So it'll be fine in it. And then I got a lavender and a pink. And then I will let that dry. And then tomorrow when his comes off the spinner, I'll put a thin coat of the resin on this lock the glitter in. And then that way I can do my water slides on it now that I've figured everything out with his. You know, because his was the learning curve, quite frankly. I mean, because it's been a learning curve and a half, let me tell you guys. I have definitely had some learning curve issues. Okay, I'm going to have to put this way and put this here and then do this with the paper and that's why I did it on the paper, so that I would have that. I mean, that was the whole deal, doing it on the paper so you could put it back in there, because these were little itty bitty bottles. I mean, little itty bitty bottles, teeny bottles, teeny weeny bottles. But there's the first part of the glitter. That was the, and then put that back in there, and then I will just kind of use the paper to go along here to get what I can off of here. I'm not going to get very much. Well, I might be able to get some. Where it kind of went onto the table top. I might be able to get some of it. Not much, but some. You know, I might have to use my scraper, you know, but I'll get some. Okay. And I just kind of put it in my glass jar to save it. There we go. And I'm green. I'm green, guys. Green, green, green. And then I just put it in my scraper. I'll get my scraper and I'll scrape it across where it kind of stuck to the table. We still haven't figured out what we're going to do with my drawers. He doesn't want to cut them out and redo them. He said he wants to fix them. And I'm like, really? I said, I'm willing just to saw them puppies out. And he's like, no, 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 I can fix them. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. I was ready to saw them puppies out and just throw them away. Because he was ready to do the work, so like, whatever. I think he likes to do the work because it keeps him busy. And he doesn't like, right now he's over, believe it or not, painting my dad's ceiling. So we're going to get rid of this one because that's the green. Now, oh, and I got a glittered floor. My floor is glittered, glitter, glitter. Okay, pink. And that's lavender, so we'll do pink next. Pink is next to this one. And see, I put the silver, you know how to put that silver sheen on it, and there's actually silver in all this glitter. So I put silver in all the glitter. So it's the glitter, and then it's got partial silver. So pink. Yep, I have to get that some glue in there. I have to get some glue in there. There we go. There we go. Okay, there's that strip. Alright, now I'm going to have a little strip over here. So we'll put some pink right along in here. Get it thinned down. And then I gotta go find my Roomba so I can empty the cage on it as soon as I get done with this. Because I can tell it's shut off. The cage was full and it was saying empty the cage, empty the cage. But I vacuumed in this side of the house, so it did more, but on that side I didn't, so it probably found much more fur on that side of the house when it went over there. So I was surprised it actually went over to that side of the house. Okay, and that's what it did over there. And I'm going to actually go up underneath with the pink on this side. And then I'll do the lavender in that last spot. There we go. Oops. And I'll just kind of shake the paper over it. There we go. Alright, and so there's the rest of that. And I'm just going to take the paper and okay, and then I'm just going to do this. Okay, it's just all over right there. There we go. And then I'm just going to put the rest of that. Put the rest of that down in there. There we go. Alright. So we got the pink. We got the green. Pink and green are done. I'll put this last sheet here. And open the lavender. Okay, and get the glue. I'm going to put the glue. Okay. I'm just going to put glue all the way across the bottom because we're going to need some green and some lavender on it. Because part of it's lavender and part of it's green, so I'll do the green first with this paper. So green goes on it first over here. Okay. Okay. And then the lavender goes in the middle. There we go. Alright, now, lavender. I'm going to put him right here. Make sure we get the big humps out of it. I don't want no humps, no humpty humps. Get it smooth out. Because then after you get it smoothed out, you can't sand it. You have to actually put a coat of epoxy on, or a resin on it, and then you can sand it. And then you have to put on another coat of epoxy, and then you can put your water slides on. So you'll have to sand it between your first coat of epoxy just to get any sharp points that are sticking up. Because you can't sand them off until after you have a coat of epoxy on, because otherwise you'll sand off your glitter. And you don't want to do that. So you put on a thin coat of epoxy, and mine's 24-hour epoxy, so you wait 24 hours. And then you do a light sanding just to get off the sharp standy-uppy points. And then another light coat of epoxy. I found out the hard way. You do light thin coats, 10 mil coats. And wait 24 hours. And then you can do your water slide. And then you do a 10 mil coat. And you got to make sure you label your stuff, A and B. Don't get them mixed up. I think I got mine mixed up yesterday. Or I didn't get the stuff off the bottom, because you got to be very meticulous if you get it off the bottom, off the sides. And I don't think I got it off the bottom. And so it didn't mix right. Didn't have the correct ratio of the hardener to the resin, and so it doesn't set right. It almost gets there, but not quite. And so you gotta sit there and run it again. And so I'm running it again. And one thing I'm figured out is don't buy a big tub of this stuff. Buy a small one and try it out and find out if you like that resin before you buy a big one, because you may not like that resin. That resin may not work for you. I bought the big one, so I've got to use it, but I may not like this resin. I may have, there's 4-hour resins. And I got the 24-hour resins, and I may have liked the 4-hour resin better, This 24-hour stuff's kind of for the birds. It takes forever. And then I'm gonna put this back in here. I mean, I'm kind of off camera right now, but I just put it back in the container and shaking it back over the Okay. Here is my little thingy. It is all glittered. There's a little area right in here where I don't have any, but that's okay because it'll be epoxied. And I'll probably just stick a water slide over it. But there is the cup. These are going to dry. I'm going to stick this down like this to let that totally dry. Because that's going to be sanded off. All these along the lip are going to be sanded off. That is what it looks like. All this glue will be sanded off. That's on the lip will be sanded off. So that is what it looks like at the moment. That is going to dry tomorrow when this one comes off the tumbler. I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is on its last spin. Sorry guys. It's on its last spin. Of course, this one had a water bubble under it. I had to pop it so that little area came out. So it's going to have that little hole there, but I filled it with resin, so it should be okay. So that's my only big boo-boo on this one. Tomorrow morning, that should be able to come off and be done. But that is his. I've got a fan on it because when it cools down it doesn't, so I have to keep it between around 75 degrees for it to keep doing its thing, because when it gets cool it quits setting up. So that is his, and it's done in black and red with silver glitter and red glitter. And then mine is all these other colors. And that is it for today. So, thank you for watching, and come back at another time. Love y'all. Bye.